how they're helping the health sector to digitalize. Banang, Edward Demo has 4,000 computers, desktops. Edward Demo Master 1 has 4,000 desktops. And the digitalization is such that every house in Iowa is connected by government to internet. That for Uganda, embassy to Limba, Mboya helping Uganda to digitalize. Nga fabeto lukanga bagambye mu busisira tetulina internet mulimba. The healthcare system cannot be digitalized until you have digitalized Uganda. Kata America lwaki erimba ati yakozesa sente kufe. Now nze ekyo nakirabye naye tosobola kusanga muna Uganda gwemdi naye mu America wano amanya America bwetambula yalabye ensonga eyo nti eri kwembase Kampala tebakiraba. So nze mbagambye nti politics is the full-time engagement. I have discovered freedom. Banange bana Uganda abali wana abakola ebyeyo omuntu omusanga traffic light we mukwata bweti bamufuwira ngombe kulokuba bayebase. I have never seen this kind of slavery. Ni abantu abali wano mu slavery tolina nomu katika uma. I wish she's here. Katika uma Daniel Kauma yakulira NUP mu diaspora. Mulimba ate tubagala obagambe ekintu ekyo obagamba ko. NUP is not active in the diaspora. It's not. Those functional structures wabuza tebalina budde bwa NUP. And for us, ngabwe mbagambe, if we are going to be serious, if you know you are in the diaspora, ngowulire nnaku ngabwe njempulira munange okola mu ddwaliro nayita mu COVID-19 nga simanyi nti mmalako ate nga tolina wosiza nakitadde kati kankulaga kenyanja kenkutte ndi mukububa. I mean, this is 10 in the morning. I would be now rotting. I would now smelling urine. I would be now seeing blood. I would be now, but I'm free. And I don't want to lose this freedom into Obakati Obano Nyomulimonzire Chawanga House Rep Ogula Odi office. I want to play politics in America about Uganda. Unless we get that level of commitment, I am not the best. I am not the best. Naye waliwo oluvumbi lw'ennima. Bantu bano singa tebawuliriza ngenda kukyusa bagamba nti enswa bw'ekyusa simanyi ki naye ng'okyusa kyano enswa bw'ekyusa amaaso nga naawe okyusa envugo. Exactly. If Vivek, whom I have worked for in snow, if Vivek, whom I was his precinct captain, nga buli bwembeera mu meeting ye mugamba nti nedda siri wano kunoonyeza akalulu ndi wano kwenoonyeza voice, ndi wano kugamba nti I am a refugee, ndi wano kugamba nti gold eri busyana embonaabona kati oli mu office eyo. By the way, I want to meet Vivek. I want to meet him. Government efficiency, what does it mean? Somebody must tell them. Anyway, I don't want to undermine people who protest. Mine was a protest vote. I call it a protest vote against Biden. And I'm very happy. I chest thump. I walk with my head high because I am not going to support Biden anymore because when I Uganda to Washington Museveni must go. Museveni must go. No. For me, I'm about the foreign policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you talk to those people because anyway, the way I got to because all right. Of course, Trump simu wagizinyo wa Afrika. So I'm there, no problem. Just I'm there. So here Trump, yes, stagenda vera wa kujira because yet awagirya dala Africa. Zakati government za Africa zo ezikaba gezigenda okukomba this time Trump's administration. Nenga anyway, we bali nyo James waliwo guy gwe nalabye agenda okwesima mu kifo kyewamwe eyo Samabugwe North bamuyita Wandera something akola ku Daily Monitor ndowooza mumanyi. So yagenda okudda mu kifo ekyo James walibadde okomawo ne weesimba. Naye bannaye politics ye Uganda enyuma. Bannaye musabe Mike tusobole okweyongerayo. We are still talking about elections in Uganda. The unending journey of elections. Nga bumanyi elections za Uganda ozitunulira bwoti n'otunula amaaso ne bakulaba ngo onyeenya omutwe ne bagamba babambe bamuguwa ddalu like that. Kugamba zo that's the dilemma in Uganda. Kyo Kisantos kisazeewo ne kigamba kyo kisaba ffenna tugwe ddalu kugamba tubonaabone so that tusobole okuzuukuka kugamba naye otunula eggwanga n'olemwa. Naye nga elections okuva mu 2001 zibadde same way. Of course, zikyuseemu after 2021. Like you have seen, 2021 yali more brutal. But Museveni is the kind of person who has never given any soft ground for his opponents. At least anoonya amagezi gonna bw'abatakubye tear gas mu kalulu akalinda ku final n'akabba bubbi. So there are a lot of things we have to talk about as a country. There are people who talk about reforms and all that. Bulema has different strategy, thinking this is the best way. But so jango yogere best or yogere your best way to get them maso. But you should just know that there is always a way things I think maybe to Abulabi Kaluluka Kisoro we didn't analyze how it's going to be. But I thought some time back that normally government engeri discrediting opposition in any way, any possible way. Bafuna narrative, they get the agenda and they push it. They push it because they have the power, they have the money, and they have the space, they have the media, they have those influential media houses and all that. So it is very easy to push a narrative at which maybe like for us we are not able to look at it. You just have to see government and then you prepare for that. But government has been there. They have been doing that same thing from, remember, Walochi narrative, there will not be opposition in 2026, something like that. And they try to sell it. So it like Chakwata knew everyone's speaking about it. But that's also some of the strategies that the government uses to make sure that they weaken the opposition and also okumalamu amaanyi ku bantu abasobola okwagala okukola anything. Also, the low levels of civic awareness in Uganda also favors the government. The low levels of civic awareness favors the state because people don't know their rights. One thing, people don't know even, they are not informed of things that are happening in the country. There's a low levels of communication. Nawe tugamba abantu otunuulira wano mu Uganda ebintu social media omuntu omukyala ayinza okumala emyezi ng'esatu nga tabitegedde biki bigenda mu maaso naye nga byayiseewo nga byabadde very byabadde trending on social media. So all these things government uses them to manage and of course extend their rule. Kati wetuuka mu kalulu where they have influence nga bogamba they have influence mu kalulu ke Kisoro kati bakikola to even humiliate the whole opposition, exposing the opposition that this opposition is weak, they can't have the numbers and all that. Kati, someone said, I think Santos, they cannot Nagama even Nagama ne central, the central opposition can win. But remember, Nakwede is in the central. She didn't win. So, but okuswala tisibono, so they will not give any. They will not give any by-election to opposition. It will never be possible, especially in this side. One jebaleka says a government in yakagwa northern Uganda and yali opposition because we know Gundi ya Jiwangula UPC, but you know UPC is they signed a memorandum with NRM, so probably they could leave them to have that one. So we just have to look at a country, analyze the politics, and see how you think you can do individually. Yes, I will also bring in someone called Buluma.
Thank you, MP, for the space, organizing the space. Good evening, members, and good morning, wherever you are. Thanks for the topic. I know we are broken down as people in the opposition, but it was expected anyway. Yeah, first of all, I would comment about she was called over Juliana.
Yes.
Yeah, she talked about. She talked about boycotting the elections, but even if President Chagulanyi boycotted, still the election will take place. They will plant there. Is it Katumba Oye? Yeah. And
akomawo 2026 nate na law na bidi
era n'abalala tujja balaba nga baba bataddemu babasasudde basically to legitimize the process. So kati ekyo kya boycott kiyinza obutakola tubeeremu. Generally we know the thing, we know the results, the repercussion, tubeeremu tulabe the way forward. You know, we know the electoral commission belongs to the incumbent General Museveni. You know,
Buluma, just a minute.
Yeah, please.
Ndabika kweza koze tweeting agamba nti that we should boycott the elections and then make sure that the elections doesn't take place. But now in my mind I'm thinking, with this military regime, how do we ensure that this does not happen?
It is not
easy to say things because we all have things that are working actually in our heads, in our minds, but ku ground to be that Museveni would rather protect the whole electoral center, so giwako battalion to make sure akalulu kagenda nga ina bakatumba oyewe batano. You think he can fail to do that?
He can't.
So
He can't fail to do that now.
You can't fail to do that. So I think people who are peddling this idea of boycotting elections are also up to no good in my mind, because then things are really different here. He cannot fail to hold an election because you boycotted. How are people going to say no to elections that they have not organized? You would rather charge people and have a spark of like, we vote and protect the votes, than saying people boycott. You're sitting home and then you want to disorganize people that have actually gone out to vote. What if that day he's saying it's going to be fair and free and fair? It's going to be free and fair. Never international watchers never nga mazima talinamu opposition nga naye akimanyi nga yaliwo ategerekeka ombolongo okola otya. I don't believe in boycotting. I don't. Anyway, go on, Buluma. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, thank you, good girl, for that submission. It's true, but those people, I think, they're not practical. They need to be practical. Things on the ground here are really different. Viralamuko, no see America, over England, over Norway, whereby the country is democratic. No, wanotwina guy, amateka gage, judiciary ye, parliament ye, police ye, Amaje gage, so we are there, we are under capture. Answer yali wano. Answer the thing you good girl and MP you started. It's the right answer. But how have these people supported it? Kati suno oli wano osanga tonalia na kumeri.
You
know holding a space from morning up to evening. You have responsibility, you have other bills to whatever. Naye kati anafunya ate atamanya gadde nkya. That is the issue.
Ndozolengera abantu baffe kati nowulira ndowooza.
So the truth of the matter, we are not matching the forces of the regime. We are not matching. Bali ate 7 ebintu yabikwata, police yajekwata, amaje yagekwata. Ate sijja kukizigana kya Los Santos. Anyway, that's his opinion. He's right. And he's also partly right anyway. Yeah, na ye opposition kolachi President Kyagulanyi Ekita Ochiweramu serious, because he's like in a home, he's the head of the home. You have to take charge. You need to identify the people interest. Yes, you sit on a table nemugamba kati what's the way forward. You can't do things by yourself. Yourself. Kati Kisoro yatulaze nti really we need civic education. Abantu tebamanyi, abantu obwavu bungi Kisoro. But why do they vote in NRM? Because they are not aware. Tebamanyi. They don't know the purpose of a member of parliament. Overlaws over bya muzanyo, bya competition. People need to know MP agenda mu parliament kola chi, because this is a matter of life and death. So the issues that we know raising opposition kati tugenda mu myaka ena. What have they been doing? What have balina think tank eriwa, strategy eriwa, to way forward eriwa. Tebakimanyi nti civic education nti abantu bali raw. Don't they know? The people need to be waken up. Betagamba ba foot soldiers eyo mu byalo eyo yonna nga bakola ki, batambula. Ate n'ekirala, Museveni gundi tajja gituwone silver plate. We need to just force electoral commission to be independent. We can't just ask and are pretending to bring reforms and which is just poison. Ebintu bya protest. President Kyagulanyi bamugana nti togenda wano, ate nga right yogenda wano. Kuba kyakkiriza honestly. Because never nansi naffe tujja kukkiriza. We shall also be humble. That's the issue. I don't know why he doesn't protest and safeguard his right. These abnormal situations have to be treated with abnormal, answers. So with that few, I beg to submit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Buluma, for your submission. So everyone is entitled to their submission. Vote Bobby 2026.
Anyway, thank you guys. This is Clinton. Well, we understand that it's a devastating moment, but of course it was expected. But in furthermore of this, the dynamics of Mr. Museveni when it comes to rigging election, I think it has gone beyond the red line, because this tactic, I have not seen it, because reader, if I had taken good caution starting and analyzing and interacting with some political activists and political analysts on how Museveni has been winning his election from 1986. But this new dynamic of having two individuals, one wearing a different cloth but all belong to different party, and actually convinces the public that this is an independent, and yet he's a total NRM, is a new dynamic, and it's a dangerous virus that if Ugandans don't wake up, they are yet to die, all of them. Because if this is what is happening, then it completely frames other regions. Now, my point is, I will not actually even agree with Kakwenza about boycotting. Here, this man has not given options to Ugandans. There is no option. Do you know someone taking away your rights, takes away your decision, actually your rights, and he completely all of you, and he buys you off? Whether you vote or not, your vote will be counted. I remember in 2020 and 2021, my grandmother in that side of Nyamitanga, there was a polling station which in Nyamitanga, where she went to vote in morning time, and there was no even a line, and all of them, they were told on a small speaker that everyone in that area, they had already voted. There was no need of, they told them, abakikuru abantu banyamutanga, muzibe mirimo yanyu, you go to your. And now when you come to this again, what happened in Kisoro, then this means that it's all accept Ugandans to enslave themselves or to accept to remain slaved for the entire of their life, because it's indeed their entire of their life. If you have been born in 1986 and you are clocking to 35 and above, and you have done nothing, either planning your muzukuru, neither your kids have failed to plan for them because of being held in that kind of, it's definitely a pit where it has not allowed you to grow economically, either transform in any way. Then it's really the biggest dangerous of democracy that has affected our democracy. We have left democracy. We have left actually close to democracy. We are in 1,000 miles away from democracy, and one man is determined to prioritize his family over millions of Ugandans. I will not even talk about the boycott. I will not even talk about that His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi should stop mobilization. I will not also say that there is no foot soldiers on the ground. There are foot soldiers, guys. Because you cannot tell me that what we saw, that the two individuals earned almost 90,000 votes, and the biggest political party in Uganda had just 900. It's completely questionable. Of course, we understand people have fear. We had seen videos early in the morning. We completely agree that the security of Uganda, which we see as the security, including those different agencies, have completely worked with Mr. Museveni to silence Ugandans, to silence their own families. I don't know why. I don't know because of what. But it is so devastating and disappointing to find that the security forces are conniving. Museveni is using security forces. We have seen them in 2021. We have seen them in 2016. We have seen them in 2006 when these colleagues are not actually, if you are reaching votes as normal Ugandans, like normal civilians, sorry, but the security forces are the ones participating in protecting the rigid elections. The rigid votes are not only even be acting on behalf of the Electoral Commission, which gives the Electoral Commission no solution at the end of the day, because the army of Muhoz, the army of Mr. Museveni, which he called my army, indeed we are seeing why he calls them his army. Now we really can see why. So, and they are the same people who are armed. So I'm saying that there's no any other left for Ugandan to decide except them to be pinched to the extent that they have to bring blood and they have to accept to go to streets whether they die or not. At least if they have lost their age, at least to save the generation tomorrow. Otherwise, Ugandans, they are moving towards leaving even their children unplanned for. And that means it's a suffering of a Ugandan for more than other 40 years. So, I don't know, but I think Ugandans should wake up. Should understand that this is not, I don't know really what happened in Kisoro. It's army, security officers, the banyankore boys in military, abanyankore bajwera uniform nibo bayini bibakaruru b'abasirikare motokazi zino bururu because according to the statistics and according to some information on the ground, it says that the majority of Kisoro people did not participate in voting. One, there was also it says that some people boycotted the election by voting. So, the majority, they also, because they had already seen rigging going on. It is also said that the time for in some polling stations, the polling station opened late, some closed early. But you cannot see any, I have not seen any statement from Electoral Commission condemning what security officers was doing in the early mornings.
In fact, when I opened the space in the morning, my concern was that, and I've always been concerned about this. When you have an election, the Electoral Commission comes out like as if nothing happened.
Nothing has happened. As if like there's nothing. I think Ugandans should attack that Electoral Commission and they burn it to the ground. I think we should train such a type of boys. I think we need to have such a type of people because this is ridiculous. This is what we are talking about in the times of March to Parliament. We need to change situations we need to become terrorists in our own country. Because now you can imagine that completely, as if like nothing has happened. There is no any statement because Mr. Byabakama was in Kisoro himself. He was in Kisoro after M7. So now, if the Electoral Commission cannot, and on evidence, on well-recorded evidence that if it was a legitimate Electoral Commission, then it could have cancelled that election because there was a peep in of intentions, actually rigged movement of these elections. There was no free and fair. So, and two, how can NRM be allowed to bring two people? One called so independent, but in her history, in real of identity, she's an NRM. So NRM was competing with itself. So I think, may I have told you guys, of course, we already said that 2026, Museveni is coming back. That's true. That's completely true. It's only a Ugandan if they decide to step up and take a decision. In 2021, we lost over 100 people, innocent. Nothing has been either put in, like, it's we Ugandans who are saying that this is a Black November. The government is business as usual. Now, the question is, even if Ugandans are choosing to vote yes to government to change, even if Ugandans have waking up that early morning, gone to polling stations and voted a right president, with the participation of hooligans of army and police who are supposed to be non-partisan by constitution, if they are the one participating in rigging and protecting the rigged elections, what is left for Uganda? Is it not to die? I submit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Clinton. Someone I don't know why you're not requesting for the mic, just said, I think we need three things for 2026. One, an ultimatum to go anarchy if the vote is stolen. And then he put the definition of ultimatum as a final demand that is accompanied by threat to be carried out if the demand is not met within a specified time frame. Remember the ultimatum that Mohoz gave to the US ambassador to leave Uganda. So an ultimatum to go anarchy if the vote is stolen. Two, the Londa umbrella wave that happened in Uganda has to be replicated countrywide. Three, serious gathering of evidence and preparation of the Supreme Court case of election rigging. That is his that's his views. Yes, that's his view. Thank you so much. Just so I don't know why you are not requesting for the mic, but I will give Heroic the mic.
Yes, greetings everyone here. I salute you all. Was Kisoro by-election? Yes, it was. First of all, everyone on the ground, before you come here and then you complain, first make research. There are people who are saying that those people of Kisoro and other people are voting for NRM. It is not true. There are some tricks that have come up according to our research here on ground. Like yesterday in Kisoro, there is that thing of vote umbrella. Now, yesterday in Kisoro, I don't know whether one of you here made research and confirmed that there were two ballot papers of different dynamics. One was real. The second one was not real.
Heroic, just a minute. I saw Honorable Shakabanda. You came here in the morning, and probably you are back. If you are comfortable in your position, we would like to hear from you, because there are some questions that you are being asked here, especially with that no party. Please go ahead.
Yeah, kanjogerera mu Luganda kano ka statement. Wabadde ballot papers za mirundi ebiri. Those were on ground. Emu yabadde nga ntuufu, like nga symbols ntuufu. Eyokubiri, because bannayuganda balinamu ekintu kye babateekamu nti vote umbrella. Kati baddidde awali ekifaananyi kya ttana ne bateekawo baasi. Ne baddira awali ekifaananyi ky'owa NRM ne bateekawo umbrella. Remember bannayuganda balina kiri nti nno vote umbrella. Naye tebatunulira nnyo kifaananyi ekiri ku ballot paper. N'oyo agenda okusoma results asoma linnya, tasoma simbo, tasoma kifaananyi, asoma linnya. So abantu abasinga mostly kati abali mu byalo agenda ng'atiikinga butiikinzi buli walaba umbrella. But remember nti bakyusizza ballot paper emu ng'ekifaananyi, batono nnyo abasobola okukigoberera. Eyo nebanga advantage because balowoozezaamu okukozesa amaanyi nga bwe mwabirabye mu Amaje kijja kubalabisa, but still balina tekiniki endala gye baintroducinze. So bwe muba musomesa abantu ebintu bino balina okutunulira ekifaananyi ne simbo, because kati eyo nayo teeko yazze yakubuzaabuza abantu nti oli ajja yatiikinga butiikinza wali umbrella. Ekyo ballot paper yabaddemu nayo era ye yasinze okukola omulimu ogwo. So tuleke gamba abantu nti ne bavotinga NRM, but tulina kubasomesa bye tulaba on ground nga biri ku reality. Ekyo kyabaddewo nti rigging ey'amaanyi yabaddewo, ne rigging ey'otuzannyira ku mitwe nayo yabaddewo, kwaba batasobola goberera kifaananyi oba simbo nti zikorespondinga n'omuntu. So ekintu ekyokubiri ekyokuboyipootinga akalulu. Olwaleero bwe tuba twogera ku ngeri zonna zonna eziyinza otutwala ku street nga ziri mu mateeka, esookera ddala y'ey'okuzannyira ku constitution. Nti ssemateeka ayinamu obuwaayiro obukuwa mandate ogenda ku street singa wabaawo omuntu agitampalinga mu ngeri y'obumenyi bw'amateeka kitwandigiyise ogirepinga. Ekyo kikuwa mandate ogenda ku street because kirijja no nti n'omuntu ali eggulu, n'omuntu ali mu Arua, n'omuntu ali mu Ankole asobola okukirwanirira kubanga tunoonya common voice eyinza otutwala ku street singa tebajja kugamba nti kino oba aba Buganda be bakikoze oba kino kyab'eggulu bokka. So ekyo nakyo bwekiri. Engeri ey'okubiri of course ebeera y'akalulu. Akalulu kali constitutional. Nti tolina bw'ojja kuvaayo complaininga nti nno baakubye akalulu ogende ku streets, bajja kukubanga muyeekera because first of all you didn't participate. Kati kiki ekikuyomba era kiki ekikulwanya ng'olwedde tewa participatinze? Of course oba muyeekera olwo oba weetadde mu katiko omuyeekera, era bw'aba akukuba nga n'amateeka gamuwagira kubanga gw'oli mu kumenya amateeka olwanirira ky'ota participatinzeemu. Naye bw'okyenyigiramu n'otabeera mu mativu era still constitution n'amateeka gakulagira okukyetabamu ekyokwekalakaasa, kitwandigambye nti kya mirembe. But gwe so kikola mu ngeri yo gy'olowooza nti gwe y'owulira ng'ey'emirembe because first of all oli protected by the law and by the constitution. Teba yakuvuna nti ne bwe wandibadde seeking assistance from maybe western cultures era still kibanguyira okusupportinga because okola ekintu ekivira ddala mu kkowa y'amateeka eya democracy ne human rights, because oba considering a human rights violation ne democracy osinzira ku constitution because mulimu obuwayiro obucorresponding a constitution ya Uganda ne constitution ya EU. Byebyo ebigambo byange ebitono for now.
Thank you so much, Heroic. Comment section waliwo gundi ono nuwamanya Mohozi's die hard agambye olimba nnyo naawe simanyi ddala specifically what is saying mbu mulimba nnyo nammwe
agende ku ground aleke kwogera because is Mohozi's die hard. Let him go on ground akole research abo bo bafuuka basiru ti Mohozi's die hard bye biki.
So okay, thank you Gundi, thank you Annie, Heroic. Okay, Honorable Aisha Kabanda, you are among the listeners there, and of course you have just come back. I saw you in the morning also, but we have some things to maybe to get more clarification. If you are able, please, I've sent you a request. If you have seen it, you can respond. Maybe if you are not, no, it's okay. I will give, I don't know, good girl, are you ready now to speak? If not, then I give James a few minutes. James, use 2 minutes.
Yesterday there was a youth space, national youth something, trying to look at how they can participate in an election. Then I came and talked to those youths. One of them mentioned about that very football that we are talking about. But here is how to look at football. Sometimes when I tell Ugandans a few things, nibagamba ntotugamba kwa America, but kati, if we don't speak about the best examples, best practices, where shall we get that? Katabana bona bali excited bagenze na Kivuvu nababuuza nti okay, after the Crane success, how many districts are going to get football fields? MP out, I'm in a small country called Iowa with a population of 3.1 million people. They have 3,000 football fields. And of course, sports educates people here. The only scholarship you can win from Uganda, unless you're extremely clever, the only scholarship you can win from Uganda will be a sports scholarship because the fields must be used. Every university has got a standard field, like equivalent to Nambole or better. Now, the Ugandan youths, Balaba Kabaka we agenda Mukisawe. We had a team of Kabaka and we have a team of Chagulanyi. Now today I don't know which team is there. That you have these leisure V youths. That's why Agure described some of us one time in Muringen so where Zebasulire Chivundu ne Mwekunganya. That's how Agure described us. Because these young people don't know that they themselves can be playing that level of football. In America, you can watch a football season the whole year around. You can watch cross country the whole year around. You can watch, I have young girls in karate, in taekwondo. I'm supposed to start traveling statewide to support their fights. Katuwebuza ati mwana wa Uganda omuvubuka amanyi g'ekivubuka omanyi amanyi g'ekivubuka mugalagira mu buliri. Even right now, yesterday I was in space abamu batya n'okuzaala. But you are in what country? By the way, when you talk about 35 years of Museveni, you don't know what that means. Maybe you should look at me. Museveni came when I was 19. I'm now 60. If I'm kind of talking about a wasted life, muliwa. So you find the youths totally not connected. Youth council, you're like, but now you're talking about the youth council and then you should follow the government structures in place, what have you. But you people, do you know what the country owes you? Do you know what the country owes you? These young people don't know anything. The youth councils are just their puppets. So it's a very sad affair that when we tell you these things, Mugamanti Mulimba, Totogamba kwa America. No. No. By the way, abantu abasinga obungi bana America abasinga obungi, they are so shocked that Trump won. They demonized him. They tried to shoot him. Bali ne batuula ne bagamba nti talina lugendo. They were shocked. They were shocked. America is ready everywhere. Now, these people are regretting why they didn't get out to vote. By the way, Trump could not win this vote if people had simply got out and voted. Sometimes overwhelm them with the vote, but if you can defend it, because katabana abasinga obu those of you from Busia, tufulume nyumba kumacha nga nze ndi candidate n'abaana bange ne batukwatira ku mulyango. Then they released me the candidate abana ne batwale masafu mu komera. My dear, an election gets over, an election is done, and before you have now kids to rescue. That thing tortured me. I think it took me about 6 months to release every child. These are young people who are running behind me. They are athletes about working with me, but they were arrested at my door. And I had all video evidence recorded. I think nalinanga video evidence nenjitwala ku electoral commission. The person who was in charge of data in the electoral commission was my OB. He decided Onze kiminga nti ogenda kulonda n'olaba nti gwe watiikinze ne babala akalulu ng'olaba ne bakatwala ng'olaba, then you're able to stand and defend that vote. Babalimba nti mulonde mundekere. No. Vote and protect the vote. So Ugandans, there's a lot we need to do. We need to do. Some of it is civic education, some of it is just responsibility, some of it olusengana n'engamba nti singa ndi mugaga ne ntambuza ko butambuza abaana bensobola okutambuza zijangu erabireko oddeyo naye ne batutambuza ne bajja wano waliwo abajja wano ne bansanga mu kibiina ne tusoma ne mbalagira naddayo n'owulira nga talina kyakola. But it's going to take pain. It's going to take pain, like I think it's Heroic who said. So for me sometimes I'm like, I'm tired throwing safety lines for people on a sinking ship. Just sink. Mwagala chi. Kata mupira. For them, they are looking at mupira. Do I look at, but do I have a stadium in my? The new stadium, the only person who has provided is Anita Among. Anyway, have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, James. I'm reading a new tweet posted by Bob Wine just a few minutes ago, and he's trying to give the whole thing about people power movement, how it started. You can read that. Power movement started in Chadondo East after we swept the subsequent elections in Bugiri, Arua, support candidates, Ginger, Sorote, everything. But then he posted a lot of things down here in the middle. But then I'm reading at the end. He's conceding. Conceding doesn't mean that you are defeated. Also, he concedes defeat here. So certainly there are many places where no and the larger opposition need to do much more. That's why Aisha Kabanda is here. But normally I don't like MPs in Uganda. They don't want to speak to people. Even
I was going to say that maybe she's not Aisha Kabanda, we know, but I believe she's the one. But I don't know why members of parliament in Uganda don't feel like they should be very close to people. Like here, how it is in other countries.
They want to be in their own circles. They don't want to be They don't
always in
want
own
to.
circles. They want to be called on special events. They want to be called on big televisions, but they don't understand. The members of parliament in Uganda, they are also like drugged Ugandans. I am telling you, and I'm so sorry to say this because it is irritating to find that you're a member of parliament. In case you come out and you talk and educate people, and maybe you speak to them, no matter the number they are, the message, what matters is the message you give them. But you are to be begged to speak to your people. I think they are also contributing the biggest percentage on supporting the dictatorship to remain in power. And after they come asking for more votes and more terms to go back in the parliament, I hate them, and they should be scrutinized and actually held accountable for not serving the people of Uganda.
Thank you so much. I hate them more than you hate them because I know I've
Indeed,
criticized them. They don't want.
just
They
2
don't want.
seconds.
They don't want. They don't want to hear from the people. They don't want to be criticized. They don't even want to. So things like that. Anyway, let me read this and then we'll just continue this. He said here that certainly there are many places where NUP and the larger opposition need to do much, and these are the things we are honestly talking about. Larger opposition need to do much more work in mobilizing and awakening people. And Kisoro is no exception. It is clear that even without the kind of raging, I think you can understand this, that it is clear that even without the kind of raging they engaged in, the independent candidate would still have won. And this is honestly true. This is what I've been saying here. It is okay. And I say, like, there's no way it is written that opposition must be winning all the by-elections or the election. It is okay for NRM to win and all that. But as long as the ground is leveled. So he continues to say here, still have won. But what is true is that the NUP candidate would have gotten many more votes than those allocated to her. That's also true. This in part because in Kisoro and Oyam, there was another dynamic of a protest vote against the official NRM candidates. So people are protesting against the NRM candidates. There would be opposition voters. Choose to unite behind candidates they considered having the best chance against the NRM. Someone talked about it exactly the same way, that in situations like that, I think even Dada talked about it, in situations like he said in Mbale municipality, where this woman was defeated, Wanyoto, that even opposition members felt that they should align with the other one who had been cheated in the NRM primary. So you end up seeing that the votes, the number suffocates the opposition member there. So even the opposition will be voting the other one. So it is a protest vote. And normally some people cannot understand that. But normally when there is a victim in an area, you find that so many people ally with that person, whether opposition or NRM, they will ally with that. So in order to defeat the incumbent, I'm not defending what Bobi Wine posted, but this is the concept I was saying in the morning here, that we have to be honest. If we are not honest, we cannot diagnose all the problems we have. We know no one should tell us that Museveni is the dictator or that. We know he's a dictator. And so we know the election system you are going into, you know that. So, but as he said, we need to talk about these things. We cannot just continue just moving like that. No, we need to talk about these problems. And I'm happy at least he's addressing these things and is letting you understand that it is okay, because people think that maybe opposition must win. No, it is not written anywhere that opposition must be winning primaries, elections everywhere. It is not there. NRM has strongholds, like the same way opposition has. So it is okay for NRM to win, but as long as the ground has been level for everyone, whether NUP is supposed to lose, but they are not supposed to lose on unfair ground, whether FD is supposed to lose, but they are not supposed to lose on unfair ground. Let people vote in a protest vote, but let people take their own decisions, not being forced to vote. Others are exaggerating of the numbers. You can see like then now the total number of voters probably it could be over 100,000 voters. And if the I don't see any area that can have 100. The Electoral Commission PRO came here. I was busy. I couldn't invite him to speak. These are the things that normally gives me a lot of headache. That when after election there has been some disorganization and all that, the Electoral Commission just moves like there has been nothing, as if it has been smooth. But these are some of the things that we want to hear. But I want to bring in someone here and then Katende, please. Katende, you have the mic, and then we move on. Katende, you have the mic. Katende, are you able to speak? Okay, Anecho, please. Anecho, you have the mic.
Yeah, I've been listening to all the submissions, and I slipped and came into the country.
Please, can you move from there, because you have some things that are really disturbing us in our ears.
Sorry,
we can't hear properly.
I am driving, so let me just find a place where to stop.
Close the windows. Close the windows.
The windows are all shut. It's so cold here, so you can't. You don't want.
Okay, but now you can speak. You are clear. You can speak. You can go ahead.
I'm stopping here, and then I give my submission. I've just been saying. Thank you so much for this opportunity. But again, I want to say that we have talked enough as Ugandans. We know where the problem is. And we know, and we keep on doing the same thing, the same old thing. But I recently, I've just returned from Uganda. And one of the things that I saw, and I concluded that the fight for the liberation of Uganda won't be our generation. It will be the generation, the younger generation. You ask me why? The education system is going to kick in. That will be the time bomb, because we are spending lots of money for our children to go to schools, the best schools. And those best schools, when they finish, there's no opportunity for them. There's no fair ground. This is all what we're talking about. Fair level ground for our children. You go to West Nile, find people just doing their own things. They're happy with the dust. They're happy with the potholes. They're happy with everything. And I begin asking myself, are people just so comfortable with the situation they're in? And you just see everybody is just, they don't care. And that is what they have created for 35 years or 40, come 40 now, that they make you that you don't bother, you're so comfortable with your little income. And then for you to then, they will come and give you some little money. How can 1,000, for goodness sake, how can 1,000 Ugandan shillings make you change your mind, if that is not something that has been premeditated? So when people are talking about selection, I don't call it election whatsoever. It's called selection, and it's a zombie one. There's nothing that we need, as we keep on saying, go back to a drawing board. We have overspoken. Dr. James speaks so clearly here. He said, actually, if we look at, I love Chagulanyi, but the problem is, if we look at Chagulanyi as the pivotal person, as our savior, we are bringing another Museveni. I can guarantee. Let us be the people. The people are the ones to give the power to Chagulanyi. And that is where we call the people power movement. But other than that, what I see is we're building up a cult. We're building up a cult, and that's why we cannot do anything. They surround Chagulanyi and we're there. Everybody is no more just doing anything. And that is the mind game. Because if the people are more stronger, I can guarantee this government won't have stood. Thank you. I just beg to stop there and just listen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a safe drive there. Okay, thank you so much for your submission. Someone here said, which I don't agree because I've just read even what Bobo and I just posted. Said Wangula Anthony said highest percentage of Kisoro people are not happy about the declared results. That simply spells that something strange just happened. There was trickery and theft. Even if theft is there, we agree that I've just read that Bobuen's post. You can agree that independent was supposed to win. That one is, you don't have to just know that independent was supposed to win. I posted 2 days ago about the video where that independent candidate went to the rally that was organized by Museveni, and she was welcomed with a lot of chants. But the NRM candidate was there. So it shows who was stronger in the area, and it has no problem. I want Ugandans to understand there's no problem with anyone winning. Please understand that. We are talking about the system, electoral system. It doesn't matter, but we're talking about the system. That's the most important thing. Let's talk about the system. But customers, they are not happy. Who said they are not happy? She won 50,000 votes. Whether Babu Park is Babu Jizemu, but Yawangu Demun Nochtegel. Katuso Agamba, there are always people that won't be happy. Yes, Honorable Aisha Kabanda, right?
Hello.
Yes, Honorable Aisha Kabanda.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks for calling. You are my friend. My friend is part of your family member in Uganda. So, smile be like that.
You people, you should
Yeah,
know.
just so
Listening is a virtue. When I come online to listen, I just saw for listening. I had people was attending to one wange mudido and the second space impuli angendo kulanga mondiao. When manza zewo kuliriza, people should appreciate in the bade wange mpulirize. Kubanga si buli muntu abeerako space na awuliriza. You want me to speak nothing? You can call me ngomulaba gompiseeko simanyi biriko. Bade nakajjako nsanzeko Kisoro in a minute someone will speak about mupiira kakati njogere kuki. I didn't even want to talk about. Okitegera nga nyina abantu benda benza okulyanga mondi awo bana byafuzi biti bantama nze ataliko awuliriza tenze na bwe manze mpulirize kitegeeza I'm willing to pick information from people because not everyone is online nzize mpulirize ate mondi awo okubawuliriza kati musango gwange badde because sometimes I don't have information and you want me to speak and I don't have any information.
Okay, that's true. Maybe one thing that you can do is sorry. Sorry, I was saying that maybe one thing you can do in that case, maybe you take up the mic and say, maybe I don't have any comment, maybe I can just greet you. But normally, sometimes we have politicians and they just come and listen. But from that note, maybe we are sorry for that, for going hard on that. But then we have members of the opposition, and I'll post that to you. I'm happy that you are using social media. We have so many members of the opposition across political parties. They don't want to use social media, and this is the age of social media where you are supposed to get information. Like you said, you want to come and listen, but you find like most of your colleagues don't use social media. There is a way how they try to avoid the criticism because social media will criticize you and all that. So they are not on social media. So send that message to your colleagues they should open up social media. Sometimes we want to listen to Muwanga Chivumbi about the parliament nayogera about economics and all that, but we can't have him on space ayogere bana Uganda abali ku timeline. So
Nanti
this is one of the concerns.
kati kankubulire. Don't you assume that everyone knows how to use social media? People have to catch up with it. Not everyone knows.